Hi everyone, happy Friday. I'm Alana of Starfield Energies, and I'm here for my daily yoga mat reading and a little guided meditation, which today will be a movement meditation. So you'll need a little bit of space to do this in. Not very much, and it doesn't have to be special. You really don't even need a yoga mat for this. I will suggest you take off your shoes. So we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get to the meditation portion. But today, on Friday, March 20th, I've really been thinking about today is the first day of Aries season, and I've definitely been feeling that Aries energy around me, a lot of motivation, power, and just passion and guidance in a specific direction. So I'm trying to go with that and honor that Aries vibe that is happening for me right now. So, with everything going on in the world, I have been thinking about just being rooted and how I can foster this sense of groundedness and stability and security within myself during so much uncertainty. And um, that being said, when I was thinking about planning this yoga mat reading today, I was shuffling my Wild Unknown deck, and as I'm thinking about how can I be rooted and grounded, of course I drop half my deck because anyone that knows me knows I'm very clumsy. And what card comes out but the Two of Cups, which this is one of my absolute favorite cards in this deck specifically, and an energy that I've been really working with a lot lately. I see a lot of connections with this card to the Moon card, as well as the Strength card, which I just got my amazing, badass new tattoo of the Strength Tarot card by Ashley up at Ironworks in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Thank you, Ashley. So I've really been working with this energy a lot lately. And basically, the energy of these cards for me is all about duality. It's all about digging down within yourself and identifying the different emotions, the different parts of you, the different experiences that you have on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis, and how you integrate those experiences into your life, how you react to those experiences, and how you find balance within those experiences. Um, I feel that this energy is so much connected to what emotions we foster within ourselves, um, what we're willing to honor and uplift and live in with grace, and what we're still denying within ourselves or pushing away or withdrawing from. So, this card to me is really just about balance. It's this beautiful balancing act. And in connection with my initial question about being rooted and grounded, I just see the beautiful, vibrant red of these roses in this Wild Unknown deck specifically. And I really think about my root chakra. So within my root chakra, how am I, again, dealing with conflict? How am I dealing with um, the relationship between my emotions and my actions, and the symbiotic emotions that I have, and the more challenging, different, conflicting emotions that come up within me? So, for me, connecting to the root chakra is really about rooting down and observing those parts of you with tenderness and love and grace and acceptance, and finding and seeking that pause and that stability and that security within you to look your fears or your distractions or the things that you're not honoring right now in the eye and bring some light to them. Um, so there are a lot of ways we can do that. Obviously, that's it's all well and good to observe those emotions, but then what do we end up doing with them? So really taking this time of solace to get to know yourself right now and to become that non-judgmental observer, and to analyze after you observe what are your thought patterns, what are your behavior patterns, and how can you join your yin and your yang sides of yourself, these archetypical masculine and feminine energies, masculine and feminine, not related to gender in any way, but related to these stereotypes we have of being extroverted or aggressive or straightforward, and diving deep into things. And how do we balance that with being nurturing and being open to receiving and taking what we need from our community, from the universe around us, basically. So that being said, I think rooting down into our root chakra is a great way to just start to integrate these energies and to create this balance within ourselves, this connection to the earth. And I know that in this card we have roses here, but the root chakra is often symbolized as a lotus. And, you know, the story of the lotus in yogic text and philosophy, and the way an actual lotus flower grows, is that it rises up from the mud. So this flower is down in the depths of the lake, and it's trudging through this muddy water only to eventually make its way to the surface and emerge and blossom in the light. So in the meditation we're about to do, I really want you to think about what muddy waters are you trudging through right now that you're able to process, and you're able to find value in those experiences and in that trudging. And how can you work your way toward releasing that mud and letting it sink back to the bottom of your lake and rising above it and shining bright and blossoming in the light like that lotus flower. So I want you to take this time to really dig into your own essence and create your own stability and security by really going inward and finding some acceptance with what you deserve. So that being said, and again, with everything else going on in the news right now and people just being told to stay put and that that's the best thing, I thought we would practice our malasana squat tonight. So this is a deep hip opener, and hip work in any kind of mindful movement can bring up a lot of these emotions that we've been talking about with the Two of Cups type card. So again, this is a great chance for you to just settle into your root chakra right now and observe, are you feeling stable? Are you feeling secure? Are you able to be present in your mind, or are you in this kind of flighty Aquarian type energy right now? Right now, the moon is in Aquarius, so there is some of that higher, more creative, detached thinking going on in the world, but are you balancing that with being grounded? So in order to do this squat, I would suggest, if you have tight hips or if you've been sitting on the couch for a few days like I have, that you definitely use some props for this. So if you are a practicing yogi or exerciser and you have some blocks at home, I would say blocks would be a great tool to use for these squats. Otherwise, you can grab some couch cushions or couch pillows, throw pillows, and even a blanket can be really helpful. You can fold it up kind of nice and tight. So in order to start our squat, we're going to start from standing. So come into a standing position and bring your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance. And I like to point my toes out a good amount. Really feel what feels good in your body. I think generally maybe like a 45-degree angle would be acceptable for this type of squat, but do what feels right for you. And again, just go slow. And if this isn't accessible to you, you can come to a seated position and come into a cobbler's pose by bringing the soles of your feet to touch and letting your knees come out wide, kind of finding a nice, beautiful butterfly pose here. You can wrap your hands underneath your feet and start to lengthen your spine here and draw your heart toward your feet for a nice hip opener here as well. So this is a great place to work, even if you're up here. Everyone's hips are different, so this is going to look different for everyone. So really just listen to your body. You are your best guru when it comes to yoga and any type of mindfulness or meditation practice. So I will guide you into this malasana squat though. So we'll start standing, pointing our toes outward, and start to just gently bend your knees. Keep your tailbone tucked in, keep your core engaged here, shoulders back and down, your spine is nice and long, and start to reach toward the floor. And if your heels start to rise, that's totally normal. That's what we have the blanket for. So you can actually put the blanket right underneath your heels if that's comfortable to you, and that can be another support here as well. So starting to come down, find some length in your spine. Allow your knees to spiral open. Again, tuck that tailbone, hugging in the low ribs here. And you can start to find your Anjali Mudra, your hands coming together at your heart. Elbows are pushing away the knees here. And maybe you place a block right underneath your tailbone, or again, one of those pillows right underneath your tailbone. Scrunch it up if you need to. And we'll be here for a minute or two. So if at any time you need to release out of the pose, coming back into that cobbler's pose, into that butterfly is a beautiful place to work as well. So listening to your body here. So starting to settle, starting to ground down, feel your feet connecting to the earth. Feel where your elbows may be connecting to your knees. Find some length in the spine. Draw the crown of your head up toward the ceiling and draw your tailbone down toward the floor. Take a big breath in. A nice long exhale out. Start to settle and release into this pose. You got this. Find length in both sides of your body, all along your torso. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and soften your face. Can you relax your jaw? Can you soften the eyes? Maybe they close here for a moment. Feel your hands connecting at your center, joining together both parts of your body. That duality that we talked about. Your yin energy along with your yang energy. Bring your attention to your root chakra, right at the base of your spine. Your root chakra shines downward, connecting you to the planet. Allow your energy to be released into Mother Earth. Allow yourself to feel rooted to the ground. And then begin to draw some of that energy up through your roots, connecting it to your base. Take a big inhalation. Exhale out any fear. Inhale security. Exhale out, doubt. Inhale and open your heart. And exhale, sigh it out. Begin to bring your hands back down to the ground, maybe walking them forward, coming onto your knees if you were just in your squat. Lowering your hips and coming down to a seated position. Nice, easy seat here. Bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Pause for a moment. Notice if your energy field feels any different right now. Do you feel lighter, more flexible, less burdened? I hope so. You can do this pose at any time for any length of time, pretty much anywhere. So find yourself grounding down, find yourself rooting and connecting back to your core, back to your own essence. Don't forget to reach out if you need anything. Namaste.